Holy shnikes. I am going to have to dim the lights to talk about these two books. The sexiness going on here is bananas. If you have kids, kick them out of the room. About 20 years ago, I used to work at the legendary Do Art Film Lab in Manhattan. And as the new guy, I was a post-production supervisor, and I would work with all sorts of filmmakers who would come through. I was assigned to work with this one woman from this company called Femme Films. A lot of the old timers shied away from this project because they knew who the producer was. I did not, but I met with this woman. She was lovely. Her name was Candida Royalle. Candida Royalle was an adult film star. Her career in the adult film industry spanned from the 70s and the actual theatrical release of films straight through to the 80s, and she ended up being a producer of films that were adult in nature. And I worked with her, and she was delightful. She was a really interesting woman who was trying to make serious porn films with a female attitude. She worked with young female directors. We got along great, and she was cool as hell. She ended up dying of cancer in 2015, sadly. But there is this book that was written about her and her career and her story. The book is really about the adult film industry, and it uses Candida Royalle's life as sort of a lens to look through that, because she lived through all of the momentous changes. She's a very interesting person. It is about a woman's dogged determination in the face of endless hurdles, whether it be misogyny or the prejudices of people, whether it be money issues or drug problems, and then AIDS shows up and just ravages the industry. The book is a very interesting way of looking at the shifting times in which we live, and it is through the lens of the adult film industry. In particular, it is through the life of Candida Royalle. This book is about a woman who takes an off-ramp in her life, and that off-ramp manifests itself as a sexual adventure. There is a lot of sex in this book. The protagonist leaves her husband and her child and goes off for 2 weeks to go to a business event. Instead, she takes an exit ramp and stops the next town over. Then she spends $20,000 renovating a motel room so she can have her sexual adventure. When she finally returns to her married life, things have changed. She's changed. She's a different person, and she just can't integrate her new self into her old life. It is a complicated and difficult main character, but it is raw, it is honest, it is really vulnerable as well. It is super, super interesting and really heartfelt. I really like this book, and it's not just because of the sex, but man, there is a lot of sex. If that's up your alley, this is your book. The thing I admired so much about this book is how there are no tidy endings to anybody's story. Nothing wraps up in a neat bow. Everything is left in some state of resolution, but also unresolution. It is really interesting and honest in that way. While I did enjoy meeting up with Candida Royalle again in Candida Royalle and the Sexual Revolution, I really did like this book. It's an interesting book. It's an interesting history book, but also a lens into a world that most people never experience at all. And it takes everyone very seriously. It's a really lovely book. But All Fours by Miranda July is going to be the winner here. It is just an absolutely fascinating book that is a real page turner, not just because of the sex. The characters are fascinating, they're interesting, it's a different style of living. It is really, really worth your time. Both of these are really good books. All Fours is the winner though.